Gavin Herman is the director of Triangulus, a niche consultancy specialising in the transformation of organisations' supplier management capabilities. I started by asking him how procurement is perceived in his current business, one of the largest energy companies in the world.
I think generally they're perceived very well, certainly as experts in running the procurement process. Sometimes you'll see subject matter experts being brought in to assist, and so long as that happens, then the business gets the ultimate result. So really I think it's about procurement working out where it wants to operate, having the right people, the right capability, and then really sort of performing and contributing as appropriate.
So just to build on that, I mean, what do you think procurement can do to take it to the next step up?
I think there's a few things actually. I mean, one observation is, procurement needs to streamline their process. You've got to have it so it's easy to want to work with procurement. If it's an onerous, tedious task, then people won't like it and they'll try and circumvent it. So I think, having a client-focused approach to your process works. I think also putting in decent category management. I've seen many occasions quite unsophisticated techniques. If you're working for a global or a large organisation, you need to have enterprise-wide category plans. Sure. You need to be able to look holistically. You need to look at suppliers that have capability right across different category groups, whether it's IT, non-IT, that kind of thing. I also think procurement are very well placed to provide decent but palatable management information. By that I mean, they need to ask themselves the so what kind of question when they're providing all this data to their internal client, but they are able to really contribute a lot. I mean, if you take supplier health as an example, if you just give sort of 2-year-old financial analysis, well, that's not much good, but what are the changes in the market over the last few years? Are there fewer suppliers? Does that pose a risk? Or perhaps there are parent-child relationship opportunities that can be exploited. What's going on with market intelligence, with the supplier and the marketplace in which the supplier actually operates? What are peer organisations doing? What are they doing differently with their suppliers? Is there something we can learn from that? What are the trends in outsourcing? Who's doing what in relation to taxation efficiency schemes, that kind of thing? Do we get involved in total cost of ownership type analyses and help the business drive that? Can we facilitate that? So there are a number of value adds, and I think if you've got high quality people doing that really understand the business, then the business will really enjoy that value.
I mean, you mentioned there's, as you said, there are quite a few value adds. On the other hand, what sort of barriers do you think there are that maybe are slowing down this progress, and how can procurement overcome those?
I would say actually it's staff. I mean, in my experience, it always has been. You really need quality staff. You need to be able to attract and retain capable people, and if you want to operate in that sort of higher value add space, not just run the procurement process, they need to understand the business. Maybe they've worked in the business. So, as a CPO, you need to really be thinking, how do I motivate, how do I stretch, how do I develop my staff? Our development plan's really just a process that no one really buys into and you just do it, or are they truly meaningful? I think that timing's really important at the moment as well. If you consider over the last couple of years, it's quite possible training budgets have been cut, maybe salaries are frozen or down. Maybe there's fewer people doing the same amount of work, and quality people will always be sought after. So it's really, really important that we focus on this and that gets hit right now.
I mean, just to come back to, as you were saying, there have been a lot of challenges over recent years. How do you think procurement has progressed, looking back over the last 12 months, 24 months?
I think the important thing is that we move from being purely about cost cutting and start looking and working with the business. The business will have development plans, investment plans, and we need to be quick to adjust. But we don't want to lose sight of some of the kind of cost control processes that have been embedded. We don't want to find that all the benefits bleed away. So I think that's the key thing. We need to be able to kind of switch our mode of operation from pure cost cutting to cost containment and meeting the business objectives.
Is that something that will happen naturally as the sort of recession moves into the background and recovery becomes more of a reality?
Yeah, I think it's probably varies a little bit according to industry, but by and large that has to happen because businesses move forwards and the agenda will change.
Absolutely. And is it funny? I mean, is there anything particularly that procurement needs to be doing to be making sure it has a seat at the table, if you like, and maintains that?
I mean, if you go back to the comments I made on cost containment, I think one of the things it does need to be doing is putting in place a decent vendor management program. So, you know, a program like that will ensure that post-contract, the benefits that you expect to realise are genuinely delivered through to the bottom line. And procurement need to kind of figure out where they want to play in that. You know, they're well versed and well positioned to manage some categories post-contract, but many they're not. In that case, what is their role to be? Is it to really be the custodian of the process, or they're actually going to operate it in themselves?
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.